Alrighty then. So as y'all know, because we've already talked about Ashlee before, as y'all know, Joe McCann has returned back to the United States. He was given his passport on the day of Ashlee's funeral, which was on the 5th. She was laid to rest by her family. The family had said that they still had not heard anything from Joe about anything. But Joe sat down with TMZ and told TMZ that that was not the case. In fact, Joe said that he had reached out to the family and he got left on scene. Well, it looks like Joe is not done. And allegedly, we may be hearing more from him in the very near future. Now, if you remember, I told y'all, this is the news anchor out of Philadelphia, Cheyenne Corinne, who reported on the Ashlee Janae case, and she's an actual news reporter from Legacy Media. So she's been in close contact with the family. They've been updating her on things. She's the one that I got my information from, that the family was getting a independent autopsy done on Ashlee before she was laid to rest. They did do an independent autopsy. Apparently, we're waiting for the family to be able to share. I guess they need to be ready to share the information with the public. But as of right now, it looks like Joe's lawyer is making a statement on his behalf.
I just want to quickly provide an update on where we are exactly in the death of influencer Ashlee Robinson, because this week I was able to get back in contact with her family. And also over the weekend, her fiance, Joe McCann's attorney, sent me a statement for the first time. And I actually want to start by reading what that says. It reads, Joe is relieved to be home where he can finally grieve for Ashlee, the love of his life. We also wish to express our deepest gratitude to the authorities in Zanzibar and the dedicated men and women in the State Department for their professionalism during this ordeal. We'll have more to say at an appropriate time in the very near future. Now, that last statement is what stands out to me most, because that tells us that this is not the last that we are going to hear from Joe McCann. I also responded to his attorney for more clarity on what he is expected to say, and I did not receive a response. I also requested a one-on-one interview with Joe. I have been asking for this ever since Ashlee's death, and obviously that request has not been met. But it does sound like we are going to soon hear more from Joe McCann. It also seems like, based on my last quick conversation I had with Ashlee's family, is that we should be hearing again from her family. I'm not sure exactly what they have planned, but the family says right now they're just trying to gather information. Now, that information could be police records from Zanzibar. Again, the last time I spoke with you, they did not share the results of the autopsy that was done in Zanzibar, or the results of the autopsy they say that was independently completed here in the United States. So possibly that could be the information that they are gathering to share, because that has not been yet released to the public. But it does sound like we are going to hear from Joe McCann and also the family soon again. Now, also, just to catch you up on speed, Joe McCann, he also wrote a personal statement on X. Here is that. You can pause to read the entire statement.
We read that.
Additionally, we know that Ashlee was laid to rest in New Jersey last week. I also have just been trying to give her family some space to grieve and also figure out what their next steps are. Right now, the investigation, we don't know where that stands in terms of officials in Zanzibar, but hopefully we'll get some more insight as soon as we hear from Joe McCann directly and also from Ashlee's family.
So that is the latest update when it comes down to Ashlee. Now, we've already read Joe's lengthy statement. In my opinion, Joe's timing for making that statement was very distasteful. Some people may not see it that way, but I feel like it was very distasteful, because how dare you make a statement after all of this time on the day that she's being laid to rest? Now, granted, the family said that he was not allowed, or allegedly, that's what I heard, that he was not allowed at the funeral. Now, I don't believe that Joe was in Click Click City at all. In fact, I believe that Joe was out and about in Tanzania. Now, Joe has some very strange links to Tanzania as well, as they were supposed to be building some type of cyber city out there that collected Bitcoin or some form of cryptocurrency is what you would be using to pay out there, which leads to more speculation as to what could have possibly been going on. Not only that, Joe was also tied to Iggy Azalea. And if you know, Iggy is being sued right now for her coin that's called, get this, Motherland. Did y'all know about that? Did y'all know Iggy being sued for that? Oh, man. Well, let's just go right on ahead and let's pull that up, shall we? Let me get this screen back. Hold on, little baby. All right. Mother collapse lands Iggy in court. Buick law field and a federal class action against Iggy Azalea on Monday over her Motherland meme coin, alleging she misled buyers with promises of utility that never materialized. The Southern District of New York filing cites that New York's deceptive acts and false advertising statutes, plus negligent misrepresentation and unjust enrichment. Plaintiffs argue Azalea framed Mother as a native currency of an ecosystem, including Mother Casino and Unreal Mobile Telecom, but holders received no equity, governance rights, revenue share, or contractual claims. Mother launched on Solana. Now, doesn't Solana sound familiar? Because that's the company that Joe is tied to, Solana. And at one point in time, Iggy and Joe were doing business together. Let's go ahead and let's pull up this court doc and stop playing. So this was filed on 5/4/2026 in the United States District Court, the Southern District of New York. Okay. And this is a 44 page filing. So it is a class action lawsuit. And it says this case is not about ordinary validity in cryptocurrency. It's not about an inherent risk that a speculative digital asset may decline in value. This case is about celebrity-led promotional campaign that induced consumers to purchase and hold a digital token through specific material representation about real-world utility, commercial integration, institutional market marker support, and continuing development. Mother is not pled into the in this complaint as a security. Plaintiffs' claims arise under. Hold on. There we go. Now, where was I? Digital assets. Plaintiffs' claims arise under consumer protection and common law principle applicable to the deceptive marketing of a commercial-facing digital financial product. A digital asset need not be a security for its promoter to be liable for material misleading representations about its utility, access, rights, payment functionality, commercial integrations, market support, and demand generating features. Those representations were limited, incomplete, contradicted, temporary, and not delivered in a durable way. The terms and effects of the market support arrangements were never disclosed to the consumer. In other words, they feel like they got scammed. Defendant Amethyst Amelia Kelly, professionally known as Iggy Azalea, launched the Mother token on the Solana blockchain on or about May 28th of 2024. The token was not promoted as a passive speculative instrument. Instead, it was promoted as a native currency of an expanding ecosystem of real business controlled or co-funded by Azalea, including a telecommunications company, an online casino, a luxury gifting marketplace, a merchandise store, and entertainment integrations. The ecosystem was also promoted as benefiting from a professionally managed trading environment supported by two of the cryptocurrency industry's most prominent marketing firms, which is Wintermute Trading Ltd and WF Labs. Holders of Mother received no equity in Azalea's business. They received no revenue sharing rights, no voting power, no contractual claims, and no legal interest in an underlying enterprise. The only way Mother could have value was if other people wanted to buy it. The only reason other people would want to buy it was if because of the promised utility integration and commercial demand materialized. Defendants' promotional campaign was designed to create the belief that those value drivers were real, expanding, and supported by serious institutional partners. Among the most striking examples was that Motherland Casino on September 12, 2024. Azalea posted on X, "I hope you held on to your mother. You needed to get into Motherland." The at Mother Provides project account announced, "Excited to officially announce Motherland, an online casino. Motherland is releasing in November and will be powered by $Mother." Who you talking to with that disrespect? Wait, what happened? I don't know why she named something Motherland. No disrespect, but start eating salads more. Can't give them a break. You can only block them. You can block them. Okay, so these were direct purchase and hold inducements. They told consumers that possession of Mother would be necessary for access to the new commercial platform and that the casino would generate transactional demand. Now, what I find funny, I didn't know you could time them out on Twitch. Put their ass out of here. Salad that bitch. The fuck? I'm sick of you hoes with that bullshit. Like, what part of that don't y'all get that I don't give a fuck? Anyway, there was supposed to be some type of hold on. Send the info on I told y'all there was supposed to be a cyber city that was being built in Africa. So I'm curious if those were hand in hand. I'm not sure, but it has a name like Motherland. When the Motherland Casino launched in January 2025, $Mother did not function as the casino's operational settlement currency. Although Mother appears among accepted deposit options, the casino's wagering, bonus accounts, and settlement are denomination in US dollar tether. So it's in tether, not in Mother. So basically, she was telling everybody, if you've got your Mother tokens, you can use them on my online casino, and you'll get more. When you win, you'll be paid in Mother tokens, Mother bitcoins, whatever you call it, cryptocurrency. There you go. that person who wrote that in the comments, but never mind. God damn, they need a salad and a dick to ride on. So people were pissed about that because they didn't get what they were looking for. However, let me go here real quick. Zanzibar approves crypto cyber city to attract digital nomads. Okay. So I'm wondering if somehow or another her mother coin and casino was going to somehow be a part of this cyber city. Now, before we get back into that court doc, let's read this article on the cyber city that I was telling y'all about. So Zanzibar City, Tanzania. Zanzibar has approved plans for a cryptocurrency focused cyber city on its west coast, backing a private sector project designed to attract digital nomads and test blockchain based administrative systems under under special economic rule. The development is planned for a 71 hectare site near the Fumba Peninsula and is being led by private entrepreneurs in partnership with Zanzibar Information and Communication Technology and a Technology Authority, according to people involved in the project. Developers say the city will combine residential housing with a digital residency framework that allows remote workers to register business and manage taxes without living on the island full time. This don't sound suspicious to y'all? They wrote this article on January 14th of 2026 about this. The project would operate under digital free zone legislation passed earlier in 2024, which enables alternative systems for payment, taxation, and business registration. Commercial and civil matters would remain under Zanzibar's existing legal frame. The initiative received presidential backing in November 2024 when Zanzibar approved a partnership agreement between the developers and Zanzibar Communication Corporation. Project founders Florina Foreigner and Christoph Desping, I don't know how to say that man's last name, said the proposal targets globally mobile technology workers rather than traditional residents. Okay. As the concept was framed as attracting digital people, not physical ones. Under the proposed model, digital residents would pay 5% income tax, while residents living in the city would be paying 15%, a developer said. Companies operating in the zone would receive a 10-year tax exemption with no capital gains or wealth taxes. Developers said about 100 digital residents and 30 businesses have registered so far, and that the land leased for 30 years is valued at roughly $70 million. The initiative reflects ideas associated with network states, a concept promoted by cryptocurrency entrepreneur. I don't know how to say his name neither. Sorry, y'all. Similar projects elsewhere have produced uneven results. Zanzibar, part of Tanzania, has been exploring blockchain initiatives as it seeks to diversify an economy heavily dependent on tourism. So now, this talks a lot about business that is up Joe's alley. So do you really think that Joe was sitting in Click Click City when he's probably one of these people that's involved in this cyber city? Chat. What y'all think? Y'all think this is connected? That this is all connected? Because I think it's connected. Mm-hmm. You do? You do. Yep. 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 Hold on, because I'm about to do something real quick. Let me shake a tail feather real quick. Cause I gotta get this. Okay, I could actually close this out. This is all David stuff. Yep, I could close that out. How long? 1 minute. How long? 1 minute. Cause I need to, I need to get this too. Cause I'm about to do something. All right, hold on. Now it raises a lot of questions for me when it comes down to all of this with Ashlee and everything that was going on. Joe and Iggy is connected to Joe, and the guy who owns the resort where Joe and Ashlee were staying at is a part of this whole crypto blockchaining community as well. They're building a cyber city in Tanzania, Zanzibar, which makes me question. They signed the contract in January. Did they go out there for Ashlee's birthday, spend her birthday at that first resort, and when they got to the second resort, it was all business? Could that have been what they was arguing about? Because Ashlee felt like, we supposed to be out here for my birthday and you out here conducting business? And shortly after Ashlee dies, Iggy Azalea is caught up in a class action lawsuit tied to her mother cryptocurrency token. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Basically, the claims that Mother was promoted as having a real world utility through Unreal Mobile, which is Iggy Azalea's, okay? The luxury marketplace called Dream Vault, which I believe was hers as well. And the casino, and they were supposed to be able to use these coins at festivals and events as well. Okay, institutional crypto market marker partnerships were supposed to be there, but they're saying that none of this stuff was there at all. Okay. The complaint specifically claims that the casino was marketed as being powered by Mother, but allegedly it was operated underneath the tether, which is what I told you, right? It also points out that there was insider allocation concerns, market marker agreements that were not true, claims consumers weren't fully informed about risks and token distribution. So people were just going into this. And I think that basically they were going into all of this blindly because it was Iggy Azalea, right? And with this article, it's like a bigger backdrop to everything, because this is where like celebrity crypto ecosystems could go to live and breed. And it could kind of be like how it's described on Mother, where they're blending like entertainment, gambling, telecoms, home, and business. Like they're just bringing all of this together as one. Okay. So I find this also very interesting that you have this crypto city popping up and approved. Joe has his hands in Solana. Solana is a part of the blockchaining that he deals with. The owner of Zanzibar deals with Solana. Iggy Azalea deals with Solana. I wouldn't be surprised if Solana was a part of this crypto city. Let me go look something up really, really quickly. Solana blockchain. Zanzibar. Solana is actively integrating blockchain technology with focus on high-speed networks like Solana to foster a tech-first tokenized economy. A major development, the $750 million Donna Cyber City uses blockchain and AI to transform the region into a digital hub, with Zanzibar's token, ZNZ, being built on Solana. Hello? Hello? Well, I'll be damned. Zanzibar is a Web3 coin built on the fast and scalable Solana blockchain, known for its high speed and low cost transactions. Hello? That girl good. That girl real good. That girl is hella good. Oh, y'all can't see that. Let me move myself so y'all can see that real good. If Joe is a spokesperson and he champions and rallies for Solana, Zanzibar has a coin that is powered by the very company that he's connected to. And you think that that man was locked up in Click Click City, or that he was not going to be caught? Well, that he was going to be caught if he unalived Ashlee Janae? Matter of fact, let me do this because y'all can't see me. Let me pull this up real quick. Meet Joe McCann. Oh, don't do that. Don't tell me I gotta subscribe to keep reading. Don't do me like that. Meet Joe McCann, the high-flying crypto trader held in Tanzania after sudden death of his influencer fiancée, Ashlee Robinson. That's not what this was supposed to be saying. That's not what this article was supposed to be about. How long? How long? Because y'all playing with me. That's not what this article said. Okay. Let's see. Joe McCann led Solana Treasury vehicle SPAC deal is off sources. A proposed deal to take a Joe McCann-led Solana Treasury company public via a SPAC has been called off during the three sources with acknowledgement of the matter. The situation regarding the digital asset treasury company is still fluid, said one source. Okay, so that's that. But hold on.
I think the bull run is over. I think that this is pretty standard for crypto. Multiple call them bull market cycles for Bitcoin have had multiple double-digit pullbacks. Structurally, I don't see a reason for this cycle to be over, and I'll give you a handful of reasons why. Irrespective of one's politics, the number of positive catalysts and headlines that are coming out of DC right now, and potentially West Palm Beach, are arguably the most bullish in the history of crypto.
Okay. I'm going to stop right there because I know this man had links to Solana. Exploring Solana Treasury Fund, asymmetric grabs 1 billion. What? Asymmetric grabbed a 1 billion from big names. Asymmetric is his business. When was this article written? July 25th, 2025. So, he aims for 1 billion in funding. Here we go. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. During an interview with The Block, McCann said that he's looking for the support of companies like Solana, A16Z, and more to back its investment company. He went on to highlight the uniqueness of his company. McCann reveals that he has conceived some of the industry's top names, including A16Z, Mark, I don't know how to say his name, Chris Dixon. Asymmetric is also backed by Solana. And a bunch of names that I can't pronounce. A former Coinbase president, Arif Haraji, Scott Scheffler, the creator of Tiger Global. All right. So I've already done a video on Joe, and I've already broken down his connections. When I did the video about who was Joe's Tanzania connection, I broke down all of this stuff for y'all. I had all of my documents up ready to go. So yeah, we've already talked about all of this stuff, but he's connected to the company. Okay. The guy that is at the resort is part of this whole crypto world. Okay. There's a cyber city that was approved. The company that Joe was championing and cheering for and is connected to is behind Zanzibar getting their own crypto coin. And y'all want me to believe that that man was locked up in Click City? And y'all want me to believe that officials were not going to fudge shit for him? He's an important person over there. Chat, do y'all get it? They took that man's passport and told him he couldn't travel. You think that mattered? Sorry, y'all. Y'all couldn't hear that, okay? So don't start. Can't hear. No sound. I had to take a phone call. It was important. But anyway, this shit is deep. That's kind of like, you know what that's like over here? That's like Jeff Bezos getting caught up in some scandal. You think he going to jail? I know you. Nigga said I was about to text it. Listen, I already know how y'all give it up. That's why I was like, whoa, okay, don't start. Don't start. I know. I muted on purpose. See, I could just go. Okay, you hear me now? Yeah, this is crazy work. This is crazy work right here. So what are you doing? You cannot drink out. Milo is trying to drink out of the straw, y'all. Anyway, this is all starting to tie in together, and it's really starting to make this case look a whole lot more difficult than what it is. Well, than what we thought, I should say, not than what it is. This case is starting to look a lot more difficult than what we could have imagined. Because with this whole cyber city, do you know you're connected to a country? Or isn't that what they're called? Are they called countries over there? I know that they're not like how we have states. There's something else. I forgot what they're called over there in Africa, but they are different countries. Okay. You're responsible for a country having a crypto coin. You're connected to that. And where Joe was going, if you remember when I did the information on it before, that's where a lot of rich, affluent people go to vacation when they go to Tanzania and Zanzibar, etc. We have to come to the conclusion that there's a possibility that we may not ever get the truth about what happened over there. And that's sad. The family did an independent autopsy. We'll probably get some information from that, but that's just going to tell us whether it was self-inflicted or inflicted by somebody else. But we'll never get the full details of everything. It's been one dark and gloomy day. I wish I had a happy story to tell y'all. But I don't have a happy story right now. Crazy work. But anyway,